places you have won battles. Because where you win battles becomes a breakthrough then that you can walk in for other people. You know, I had from playing football, American football, I had really damaged knees. And I got prayer over my knees, and it was just totally healed. And now when I pray for people that have problems with their knees, like I already have a breakthrough in that. Because there's a difference in believing with expectancy, like believing but you've never seen before, and believing because it's happened to you. There's a difference. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying that I'm praying from a different place, because I'm not only praying with an expectancy, but I'm praying with the confidence that this is something God does and has done for me, and what He's done for me, He'll do for you. That I carry the faith of this particular breakthrough. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we were praying for a resurrection over someone that had died in our congregation. And it didn't happen this time, but we've seen people raised from the dead 3 times now. And we like to assemble the team of people that have either been raised from the dead themselves or have physically seen somebody raised from the dead. Now, we let other people be on the team too, because they're never going to see it if we don't include them in the team. But whenever we're praying over somebody to be raised from the dead, we make sure we have some people that have been raised or have seen somebody raised on that team, so that our faith is coming from a different place. See what I'm saying? So what are your breakthroughs? What are the areas of battle that you have won in because you have authority, influence, and favor in that area? And then what are the areas that you have faith for, revelation in, or authority in, and grace to impart to other people? In other words, sometimes what you carry comes out of a revelation that you've had. How many of you have heard of John G. Lake? John G. Lake was one of what's been called God's generals. He was a man who had an incredible impact on Africa, actually established 725 churches in 7 years, and then had 10,000 documented healings by the Better Business Bureau here in Tacoma, Washington. And the President of the United States declared it the healthiest city in the United States. So 10,000 documented healings, just all kinds of things. He would invite scientists in for people with cancer. They'd have cancer on their legs. He'd say, set up whatever microscopes, whatever apparatus you want. Just leave me room to lay my hands on there. And you can watch what God does. That was the kind of confidence he had. And so they would get their microscopes out. They would get all their observation things out. He would lay hands on them and pray for them. And he'd say, now what's happening? And they're saying, we've never seen anything like this. Every cell is regenerating itself right before our eyes. But here's an amazing thing about John G. Lake. I don't think John G. Lake necessarily had a gift of healing or a gift of faith. Now this is my personal opinion, but I've read a lot of his material. I think John G. Lake had a revelation of the dominion of the believer. In other words, he had a revelation of the authority of the believer that had a working in healing and working of miracles. But it really came more out of not so much like the grace side of things, as far as grace for the gift, but actually a grace of wisdom and of understanding. He had revelation. He had incredible understanding that we have the nature of Jesus Christ. That we have a divine, deified nature through the work of the cross. And that because of that, we can do anything that God can do. And so you may not have experience in an area, but you may have had revelation in an area or wisdom in an area that gives you power and authority to carry something and to impart something. And so the first question we ask is, what is it that you carry? Where do you have grace? Where do you have favor? Where do you have experience? Where do you have revelation? Where do you have gifting? Where do you have authority? This is an indication of what it is that you carry as an internal atmosphere.